Okay, so my first review here is the 2001 Kawasaki KE 100. And usually I'd start this with a walk around, but I'm in my driveway and it's kind of busy in my neighborhood, so I'm going to kickstart this bad boy. Get out of here. I'm going to go to a dead-end road that I usually use to teach somebody how to ride a bike for the first time, if they've never done that. Plus I'll have a little bit more privacy over there. Little kid playing in the sprinkler there. Talk to me. Kids love bikes. That's just something that it kind of makes, I feel like it brings out the kid side in everybody when they ride a motorcycle, especially like this. This little thing is 99 cc's. It weighs 187 pounds dry, and it'll do about 55 miles per hour. I've seen it written that it does 60 or 65. I only weigh about 170 pounds, so I kind of feel like if I can only get it up to 55, that there's not much chance of too many other people getting it much faster. Then again, I don't know. I guess if you're a 12-year-old kid and you only weigh 80 pounds, then maybe you'd have a good shot at doing that. These little side streets, this is kind of what this bike is made for. Going over going right around 30 miles per hour. It's pretty comfortable. Actually, I'd say all the way up to about 45 miles per hour. It does a decent job. Since it's such a light bike with some relatively narrow tires, it's a little bit too much at highway speed. Lucked out on this light. Usually this is like the longest light in town. Crosses a busy highway here. So anyway, we kind of go back into this like private drive area. There's a bunch of these private driveways. There's one on the left and right coming up here. The only bad part about driving through here is people just kind of creep up. You can't see them through the trees, so you have to be careful. And making sure my GoPro's still there again. I'm kind of new to this this moto vlogging or vlogging thing, whatever they call it, but anyway, yeah, so this is the 2001 Kawasaki KE 100. I sat on one of these in like 1992 when I was 12 years old. Wanted to buy a bigger bike than my little 50cc bike that my parents had bought for me, and I also wanted something that I could get my license on and ride on the road. So this is kind of the best of both worlds. This is a dual sport, which means it can be ridden on and off-road. It's basically a street legal dirt bike. There are some compromises both ways when you get a bike like this. Some are really good in the dirt and not so good on the street, and others are really good on the street and not so good in the dirt. So this is fairly limited with only a 99cc engine. You're not going to get too much out of performance. So as long as you are not having unrealistic expectations, I think somebody would be happy with this bike. So anyway, yeah, neutral's kind of hard to find too. I guess that's one of the only bad things about it. All right, here's some basic information. It started out as the G5 in 1972 to 1976, then became the KE 100 from 1976 to 2001. Very few changes were made over the 25 years in production. Here are some basic specs about the motorcycle. 2-stroke, 99cc, air-cooled, carbureted, oil-injected engine, dual shocks, drum brakes, 2.5-gallon tank, a 31.7-inch seat height, kickstart only, 187 pounds dry weight, and capable of holding 2 passengers. Well, kind of. You probably will look like Lloyd and Harry from Dumb and Dumber if you put 2 people on it. When I was looking at this bike, there were definitely a shortage of reviews on the internet. As you can see, it's not really too much to look at. I kind of bought it for nostalgia purposes. Like I said, back in like the mid-90s, I sat on one, so it was kind of like my first motorcycle that I ever really wanted, but probably can't see why. It's definitely not really a looker. So if you look at the control panel here, it is the basic design. There's the turn signal indicator. It's got a high and low beam, and then it's got a neutral light as well as a backlight. So like I said, it is the bare minimum, not even a tachometer, so the bare minimum to be street legal. Here is the engine. The lever on the right's the choke, and the one on the left is the idle adjustment. The seat, which is plenty big enough for one person, it's a little bit of a stretch to get two people on it. You can do it, though, if they are a little bit smashed together. There's the muffler. There's the shifter down there. It actually even has a diagram of the 5 speeds. A kill switch over here on the right, and turn signals, horn, and high and low beam on the left. Another shot of that. Goes all the way up to 80. I think maybe downhill on a windy day you could do that if you weighed about 70 pounds. Under the seat, pretty basic stuff. There's the 6-volt battery and the container on the right for 2-stroke oil. You actually don't even need the battery because the thing kick-starts. It just kind of helps the lights be brighter, and when the engine's not running, obviously it provides something. So here we go. We're going to kick-start this bad boy, and then we're going to get out of here. I will actually take it out on the highway and show you the top speed, which is, it's respectable. It's 55. All right, so now we're turning back left onto that highway. And I'm going to show you the maximum acceleration, which is going to sound like I'm going fast, but it really doesn't do that well. Then again, I have to keep in mind that it's only 99 cc's. All right, I'm going to try to do a close-up here on the speedometer. I am at 55 now. As you can see by my right hand, it's maxed out. I have the throttle all the way down. All right, probably looking at my crotch or the gas tank, but yeah, we're doing just over 55. Occasionally on a level road, I can get up to 60, but like I said, I only weigh like 165 or 170 pounds. So yeah, here we are, 55. I got my wrist all the way cranked up. This is about the max we can do. I wouldn't want to do it all day, but it'll do it. So who would I recommend this bike to? I think that's an important thing to do when you're going to do a review. I think that this would be perfect if you are riding a bike for the first time, but you will outgrow it quickly. And then if you're a 10 to 16-year-old kid, but you have to be about 5'3" or taller with that 31.5-inch seat height. Farm or rural areas, since it's on and off-road capable, or if you're riding it in a busy city in place of a scooter or a second bike, which is kind of my purpose for having it. All right, so now we're turning back into the neighborhood that I live in, kind of going in the back way. So in this setting, this thing does pretty well, cruising along at like 30 miles per hour. It'll do 40 or 45 kind of comfortably. Like I said, you can get it up to 55 if you want to. It's screaming, which I know a 2-stroke engine can handle, but I've seen people ask on forums, would this be a good bike to ride to work, or would this be a good 2-upright for traveling? And the answer is just no. I think a lot of people are disappointed when they try to make motorcycles something that they're not. So these are my opinions. Here are the pros. It's super forgiving, very easy to learn on if you wanted to get a license. It's oil injected, so you don't have to pre-mix oil. Kickstart. Cheap to buy, $600 to $1,500 depending on how good a shape it's in. It's easy to maintain and find parts for, and very cheap to insure. I pay $5 a month. The cons, I couldn't find many. Top speed's 55 miles per hour. It's not a motocross bike, and lack of comfort. But like I said, if you take it for what it is, it's just a cheap, economical bike that's a lot of fun. I think you'll enjoy it. I also mentioned in the cons that it's not good for night riding. It just does not light up the road very well, this little headlight. So anyway, like I said, take it for what it is. It's a lot of fun. It's just a great bike to cruise around town on, and I don't know, it's not the best to look at, but it'll get you where you need to go, and the operating costs are super low. So what else can you really ask for? Plus it's a collector's item. The last street legal dual sport, or 2-stroke, last street legal 2-stroke out there. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for some more of these. Have a great day.